I'm Scott.
I'm TJ.
And this is a review. On today's episode, we'll be reviewing Confess, Fletch.
It's a terrible title.
It's the worst title.
It's a terrible title.
Confess, Fletch stars Jon Hamm. It's a Fletch movie. Remember Fletch from the 80s with Chevy Chase? This is the one with Jon Hamm. Thumbs up or thumbs down or thumbs meh? What would you give Fletch Confess?
Spoiler-free review of Fletch Confess. This title's terrible! Spoiler-free review of Fletch Confess. You know what? I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. I laughed throughout the movie. It had a lot of good bits. What about you?
Yeah, I would give it an unenthusiastic thumbs up. I did laugh throughout the movie, but I was a little bored also throughout the movie. It's very unremarkable.
It's got the pacing and tone of an older type of comedy. Like it feels like, I know you haven't seen the other Fletch movies, but the pacing of it felt like those movies to me.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll get more into that in a minute. It will spoil everything that you've ever wanted spoiled. That spoiler skull's in full effect. So if you don't want it spoiled, hey, there's our opening thoughts. Maybe give us a like and a subscribe. Maybe ring that old bell and help us out. And then maybe next time we're reviewing something you are interested in, stick around for more.
Yeah.
Or stick around for this one and come back after you've watched the movie.
If you got suggestions, let us know in the comments. We'll review anything.
We'll review your comments.
It's true.
Come on, Fletch. Aren't you bored?
I need you for a story. I got that police report you wanted. I just emailed it to you. It's encrypted.
What's the password?
Go F yourself.
Fletch. It's Confess.
Confess.
Fletch.
It doesn't help that every time the mother-in-law or the
Flesher.
Flesh. It sounds like she's saying flesh.
Yes.
And she's trying to sleep with him the whole time, so it's
Yes.
very weird.
Flesh. She's trying to seduce me.
This is a very weird
Countess?
movie.
That's
the
her name?
Countess.
The Countess.
This is a very strange movie. Played, I'd say, very expertly by Jon Hamm.
Jon Hamm's great.
I hate Jon Hamm. I hate his face. I hate his pig name. I hate how smug he always looks. I hate Jon Hamm.
He's the best part of this. But there's a lot of great character actors that you don't see as frequently, especially not anymore. I feel like there's a lot of like older character actors that pop up in this that are all delightful. There's a lot of fun side characters and side moments, but I found myself really checking out the actual plot is very bland, and I just wasn't doing it for me.
So this is based on a series of novels. I don't get the feeling that this was based on a novel. I get the feeling that the character's from a novel. I don't know about the plot. The plot felt pretty loose, so I'd be surprised.
I could see it being based on a novel because but like if this character, if that's the whole thing, is that the character is like this, where he's dry, sarcastic, and witty and funny.
Oh, I'm not talking about the character.
No, I mean, but if that's the whole point of the books, then it would stand to reason that the plots in those books would also just be relatively cookie cutter whodunits, which
Sure.
this is. This is just who stole the paintings. Are you riveted yet? Who stole the paintings? But there's also a backstory of Fletch. Jon Hamm is being accused of murder, which these two storylines do intersect, but I don't know, the murder plot feels like so secondary to the paintings. And nobody ever really seems concerned with the murder other than the cops.
Right.
Which, but...
I'm glad they're concerned with it.
Sure. But it just, I don't know, like the weight of the murder never really...
He's walking around way too free. I mean, they do arrest him at one point, but for the most part, they're oddly light with him, which makes a lot of sense because they don't really think he did it.
Yeah, but he's the primary suspect.
It goes on. I know, that's why it's
he's the only and primary suspect. And the cop basically tells them the only reason that we haven't arrested you is because you're digging yourself in deeper. And it's like, well, that's not a good reason.
Yeah.
He could be digging himself deeper into more murders.
Well, the cop also had just recently had a baby, so...
He's very tired.
He's very tired.
Earl Maurice Fletcher?
They caught me in the middle of a yawn. Can you imagine that?
I mean, the movie is consistently amusing. It's never bad. It's just there's nothing that stands out about it. I really like Jon Hamm. I think Jon Hamm is terrific in this character. This is a great role for him. I like comedies like this. I like a lot of those 80s, those older comedies. But I don't know. It just felt like there was something missing here.
I get that. You know, honestly, as nice as it is that the two plot lines did converge and become one plot, it took a little while. They weren't balanced quite right.
Well, by the time that the plot lines did intersect, I had lost the thread, where I was confused at that point. Like, okay, wait, who is it? Just there was a lot of characters, and they're always like Mr. Gradeur, and my name Mr. Pladinkadink, and I'm Mr. Floppo, and
Well, that's mostly Fletch, to be honest.
My name is Igor Stravinsky.
Hi there, I'm Harry S. Truman.
I'm Don Corleone.
They call him Fletch.
Look, it's a silly comedy. I felt like there's moments where I was like, this makes about as much sense as like Steve Martin, Pink Panther.
But it's like more.
I just kind of go with it.
It's a lot more highbrow comedy than what we would see these days, where it's not like the comedy doesn't come from people farting on each other and making the poops, and it's not absurd. It's not like that. It's very much like grounded in reality, and it's
good character-driven comedy.
Jon Hamm making snarky comments. That's most of the comedy, right? Like, and then there's a little bit of physical comedy with the rookie cop, but most comedy is a lot more like like zooming and cutting and loud noise, and this is very much just people talking.
Well, that's what I mean by I think it has the pacing like of the old Fletch movies. Like, they don't try to cut it like an Apatow improv comedy.
No,
like
it's
this movie's for
scripted.
sure scripted.
Yeah.
Your fingerprints are on the murder weapon, and someone matching your description was seen with the victim. Come back with me to police headquarters.
I get it. You want my help? Okay. Hey, guys, is there a way we can call in a coffee order? I'd kill for a macchiato. Not literally.
It is rated R. There is like some strupping and there is some F-bombs and stuff, but it's
It's fairly tame by today's standards. And I mean, a lot of that goes to the fact that we keep talking about. They let the characters play out the scene. And although, you know, we talked about this a little on the way home, Jon Hamm is, you know, he's goofy and stuff, but he's the straight man to these other characters every time. And so it's mostly him being able to react and gather information because he's an investigative journalist / art reporter.
Yeah, it's he's always like, I retired, so it's like, so what are you again?
Yeah.
But you could totally picture Chevy Chase delivering all of these lines. I think he expertly plays that type of role without seeming like he's copying. It's totally Jon Hamm's own performance, but like you can
He's more endearing in his snark, where Chevy always came off a little bit more superior, I feel like.
Yeah, a little more smug.
Yeah, a little more smug. And that was the comedy of the era. He's more wholesome and charming.
Jon Hamm's a little more likable. Yeah, he's a little more playful, I would say, with it.
Almost.
Stupid idiot moron has something to do with this.
You want me on the outside so I can solve this thing.
I think that's a great time to bring us to final thoughts. So I'll take it away first for final thoughts this week. Confess Fletch is totally fine. In fact, it's good. I enjoyed it. It's a funny comedy. It's short. It feels a little long considering it's less than 2 hours. It felt a little longer than that, but overall, there was consistent laughs throughout the whole movie. There's good gags. It's just, it's fine. It's a little bit too ordinary that it's probably forgettable. And I think Jon Hamm is great. I think we need to see him in more roles like this. I think there's great supporting cast, and a lot of great stuff about this movie. But this is a perfect 3 movie. There's nothing bad about it. There's nothing remarkable about it. It's pretty good, You'll enjoy yourself with it, but it's nothing that you need to run out of your way to go see. If you're a big fan of the old Fletch, I think there's some callbacks and some stuff there. But yeah, for me, this is going to be 3 Picassos out of 5. TJ, what do you got for us?
I think you nailed it. It's a very enjoyable ride with, a little bit of a mishap in the middle in terms of the story. But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's great to see a comedy in theaters if you can. If not, catch it when it's on Netflix. It'll be a great Netflix movie. I think you also nailed it with the rating. It's a perfect 3 out of 5 to me. It's just kind of like so inoffensive. Like, it didn't do anything plot-wise that took me too out of it. It just was a little sloppy and, could have had more jokes towards the middle. But, fired on all cylinders. I do like the creative team and the cast. Incredible cast of wacky characters. This gets 3 boats out of 5. 3 yachts out of 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Are you Fletcher?
Yes, I am.
No, I'm not. I always get that wrong.
I don't know who people hate more, cops or reporters.
It's cops.
So there you have it. That's been...
Confess, Fletch.
Thank you. I forgot the name of this movie.
It's the only time I've gotten it right during the whole taping.
So be sure to like and subscribe. While you're here, ring that bell, like and subscribe.
More reviews coming your way.
Yes. Otherwise, I don't.
You don't have to threaten them every week.
I don't have to threaten you this week, but if you don't like and subscribe and ring the bell, we're gonna hire Fletch to private investigate you, and he's gonna ruin your life. All right, bye-bye. Strudels.
Strudels of poodles.